The bears walk the bulls to the cliff. Will they push them over? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about a couple different scenarios, one being the ABC push higher for a more complete Wave 2, and the other being that Wave 2 was already in and we were starting down in Wave 3. The bulls tried to bounce, but were rejected like Dikembe Mutombo, and the bears took it down to the brink. Now the question is, can they follow through? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the charts, we're getting great reviews on our Elliott Wave for Beginners course, taking very complex data and making it very clear and concise and simple so that you can finally understand the market. If you're interested in that and being part of our winning team, stay tuned for later in the video. But now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. And in yesterday's video, I talked about the fact that this move up right here could potentially be all of Wave 2. And we would not be looking for a bigger bounce if that was the case. So when they came down and a further push, this push back up had the chance to become an ABC, but what it did is instead became Wave 2 of 3 in our primary count. So how that looks is we have a Wave 1 off of the high, a very solid Wave 1 at that, a Wave 2 up, a Wave 1 of 3 that's very solid, hit the 0.5 and rejected as it should, a Wave 2 that came up perfectly in a retrace, and now back down to the 618, which is the top of the pivot. So what we would expect here is if they're going to follow through, we would look for the market to kind of grind through the pivot, possibly even bounce out of it a little bit, and then break through. If they can break through 44.25 to the downside, the first target would be the 43.88 area, and this target becomes extremely important if they get there. The reason for that is it's the 1.0 extension of waves 1 and 2, or what could be considered waves A and B if you're looking at the chart that way. And AB would be A, B, and you'd expect the C wave to hit the 1.0 extension. If it's going to be a wave 3 instead of a wave C, you would expect it to push down to 43.52, which is the 1236 extension. So if they continue the push down, we would expect this push down in a wave 3 to push through 43.88 and down to 43.52. So that would be what we would consider a more impulsive move to the downside, more solidifying that C wave down that we're starting to see the makings of off of the top. So again, we look for chop in the pivot as we typically do because it's a heavy resistance zone, a breakdown through the pivot, and then 43.88 is our first target, and more appropriately, if you're looking for the impulsive bigger move down, 43.52. From there, we'd look for a bounce up and then another move down targeting 42.92. So that's what we'd look for overall to the downside. To the upside, they're at the brink, and the reason I say that is for this to be a potential wave 5 down, okay, where you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, first, the 618 is the kind of last stop here for a potential wave 5. If it starts going past the 618, it becomes too long of a wave, and it's probably not a wave 5 at that point. It's probably a wave 3, which is what we're counting it as right now. So that would be the first thing. The second thing is you have this weird kind of spike here. So you have an ABC look instead of a impulsive look, which you would expect wave 5 to be impulsive. So it looks more like a 1-2-1-2 setup than a move down. So that is why we don't necessarily look at this as a wave 5, but if that is the case, we would still be looking for that ABC up, which you can see in red here, toward the 45.37, 45.58 area, and then we would look for a wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and breakdown. So the bears have the setup. They have walked it down to the 4448 area. They're sitting right on it. All they have to do is follow through, and if they do, 43.88, then 43.52 if we're looking for the impulsive move. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, on the NASDAQ, we are looking at a little bit different of a structure, but we could be looking at a diagonal where we have 1, 2, 3 ended here. We got wave 4 up, and then we'd be looking for that ABC down in 5, which should target about the 1.764. And that 764 area comes in at the 14,850 area, which is right at the bottom of this wave 4, which makes a lot of sense for support. So we'd look for that move down to continue towards 14,850. If they hold there, then we'd look for a bounce up in a 2, and then a 1, 2, and then a breakdown. So the NASDAQ's not quite as clean as the ES. It doesn't have as clean as the 5 waves, but it does have another way to count this. This is a pretty clean 5 waves down in wave 1. Okay, and then a wave 2 is a pretty clean 3 waves up. And if you count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, then this wave 4 of 3 does not enter 1 of 3 territory, which keeps it valid. We move down on 5. Then you have wave 4 and wave 5 completed, and then you'd have wave 2 and starting down from there. So that is a possibility on the NASDAQ that we do have a clean 5 waves down, but I don't like to force the count, and I feel like that's what you're doing. They only hit the 1.0 here. You would expect them to hit the 1, 2, 3, 6. So I do still look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then A, B, C down for 5 toward that 14,850 area. However, if they can hold the low with ES and ES cannot break through the pivot, we would look for both of them to bounce. The target for the NASDAQ would be 15,421 up to 15,666. This blue box I have on the screen, it moves down as the market moves down. So it is there now, and that's what we'd look for if they're able to hold this and not break down. So we can see an A, B, C up toward the bottom of this box. You would expect it to get into wave 1 territory if it is a diagonal, and then one more push down from there. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. Takes you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it and become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. In addition to that, we do have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course where you've seen the testimonials of people who are finally understanding the market and how it's helping them trade. It is 25 videos where I go over the introduction, your expectations, the mindset, why it works, the chart setup and tools, every chart tool you need to use with Elliott Wave to confirm the patterns and charts, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners course where I go through each wave and the ABC setups in a beginner's type course where we talk about their failure points, their confirmation points, and how to understand where the targets are. The cool part about the course is it is included in both of our monthly memberships. So if you subscribe to the monthly membership, it automatically comes with it for free. In my first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months. We don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are interested in day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading, individual stocks, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. Something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, the key takeaways for today. The bulls are sitting on the ledge. They got to hold this level, this 44, 48.50 level. If they break down below that and get through 44.25, the first target would be 43.88. It is a critical target for the ABC/impulsive move down. And then we would expect them to push through to 43.52 if it's impulsive. However, if they can hold, we can get this red ABC up back towards the 43.40 to 43.60 area. Over on the NASDAQ, we are expecting them to continue to push down towards 14,850 to complete that diagonal to the downside. However, if they can hold just like ES, we would look for the continued push up into the blue box for wave 4 and then a move down in wave 5 from there. Guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.